XXX, The Return of Xander Cage. That's right, the sequel to the best film ever, XXX State of the Union, starring Ice Cube, not Vin Diesel. This one stars Vin Diesel, like the first one did back in 2002, which I think was everyone's favorite action film of the year 2002. Doesn't matter, it's a trilogy now. And this film's directed by DJ Caruso, who directed 2016's The Disappointments Room, my favorite movie of that year. So, I mean, this is bound to be great.
Oh yeah, it's January too.
So the XXX program is basically a super secret organization of spies who are super duper action heroes who also really enjoy extreme sports and doing things that don't make sense. Combine the film Extreme Ops, which also came out in 2002, with Die Another Day, which also came out in 2002, and you basically have XXX. Now, if you look at the specific Blu-rays that I have strategically placed in my background, that will tell you that I really love dumb action movies. I actually have a major place in my heart for a good old guilty pleasure action film. I mean, look at this shit. I hold in my hand the VHS for Die Hard 2. That should tell you everything you need to know about me. So part of me was actually really excited to see this movie because I was pretty sure it was going to be like that. Unfortunately for me, Return of Xander Cage misses the mark when it comes to guilty pleasure action movie because at too many times does this film take itself seriously, which is a major mistake when you have people doing the things that people do in this movie, which is everything from skateboarding on the side of a bus, jumping from one skyscraper to another with literally nothing assisting you other than the momentum you got when you ran, and of course 2 people walking out into the open when about 12 people are shooting directly at you and you don't get hit even once because it's really cool when you move and you do things. So that's the level of guilty pleasure action we're at here, and that would be absolutely fine with me if the film just maintained that tone. But the film honestly does take itself a little seriously sometimes, and I couldn't help but see all of the incredibly tired attempts at restarting a franchise.
Damn, it feels good to be back.
Just about every moment in this movie is like, hey, let's do another one after this. Will you guys like that? I think you will because, you know, I'm Vin Diesel and I don't like to do the second movies in my big franchises. I just come back later to rescue them from obscurity. Can we get The Rock in the 4th one, please? That might help. The ending of this film is like, hey, let's do a sequel. The title of this movie is like, hey, let's restart a franchise. Everything about this movie isn't a movie. It's just some world-building franchise attempt thing. See, for me, a guilty pleasure action movie has to be one very specific thing, and that's not pretentious. All of my favorite ones aren't. I mean, Commando, Broken Arrow, these are movies that just throw all caution to the wind, and they rarely ever try to get serious. This film is very much so like, look at me, I'm so fucking cool. Admire me, look at my muscles. After the 7th or 8th scene of random women fawning over Vin Diesel's body, I checked out. By the time he gets to the big mission control room, he's already banged like 8 women, I'm not even kidding, and the secretary comes up and is like, oh my god, look at your muscles, you're so sexy. Oh, I'm such a big fan of you. Can I put this body armor on you and touch your body? If you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. Like, after a while, I was just like, this is too much. This is just too much. I don't need to be reminded how awesome Vin Diesel is in every scene. I already like him as an actor. I found him insufferably annoying in this movie. In fact, I found most of the characters extremely annoying.
Xander Cage. This is crazy. I was at Coachella and Guns N' Roses got back together, but this is way cooler.
Breathe. Take your time. I know mouth to mouth if necessary.
Particularly that girl who was fawning over Vin Diesel in that scene. She is the Jar Jar Binks of this movie. She even has a Jar Jar Binks moment where she's so scared to touch a gun that she drops it on the ground and the gun starts like jumping around, shooting all the bad guys perfectly, just like at the end of Phantom Menace when Jar Jar takes out the battle droids by accident. And I'm just sitting there like, what am I watching right now? Let me tell you some of the people in this movie, and then you can tell me who you think is the best part of the film. We got Vin Diesel, we got Toni Collete, we got Samuel L. Jackson, we got Donnie Yen. Yeah, it's Donnie Yen, obviously. He has the best action scenes in the movie. He's the most convincing in them. He was the most entertaining character in the film as well. Vin Diesel's stunt double was pretty good. Other than that, he basically stood around, punched some people, and said a lot of one-liners. Now let's talk about those one-liners. Vin Diesel cannot deliver a one-liner. I'm sorry. I like him. Again, I must reiterate, I really like Vin Diesel, not just as an actor, but as a guy. Like, he seems like a really cool guy, but he does not have a comedic bone in his body. And I really think they needed a much funnier actor for a role of this kind. Everything in this movie is so, look at me, we're so fucking cool, let's do another one, that I just couldn't even get into this film. There are a few interesting action scenes that I had fun with, mostly surrounding Donnie Yen. There's a very cool fight scene on a plane with no gravity. I really like that sequence. And there's an amazing, hilarious, laugh out loud explosion shot at the end that I thought was just really awesome. But besides that, this movie just didn't do it for me. And I'm a big fan of guilty pleasure action movies. It shouldn't have taken itself as seriously as it did sometimes. But if you're a fan of the other two, like if you actually like XXX State of the Union, I guess you'll probably enjoy this one. I'm going to give XXX Return of Xander Cage a D. Just so you guys know, my promotion with Audible is still going on. If you go to audible.com/Kris, you can start a free trial for 30 days and download a free audiobook. They have so many amazing titles on that website. I personally enjoyed the Legacy Star Wars novels. They have them all available for you. It's a fantastic service. A lot of people have mentioned to me that they are grateful that I'm doing this promotion. I've been doing it for over a year now, and I really like to thank Audible for continuing to work with me and you guys for checking out that service. Again, it's audible.com/Kris. That's a free 30-day trial. Hundreds of thousands of titles, so many ways to listen, MP3 player, iPhone, everywhere. It's a fantastic tool. Thank you once again to Audible. Please do check out audible.com/Kris for that free 30-day trial. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back very soon with a spoiler review of Split, because I did my review for that like back in November, and I'm excited to finally talk about that ending. I have been waiting for a long time to do that. It has been hard. Look forward to that this weekend. Guys, you're the best. Thank you once again. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.